Hey y'all, as promised, I'm back. This video is about the Hurst review. This is Hurst, in case you're trying to figure out what I'm saying. Hurst review. It's an NCLEX review course that is offered. You can actually take it online or you can take a live course. They do offer segments or they do offer a full course. I took the 3-day course on my campus. It was from 8 to 4, just to give you like a time frame. So 3 days from 8 to 4. We didn't actually stay till 4 o'clock on 2 of the days, but I honestly felt like, in my opinion, it could have been done in 2 days, but it did last 3 days. So what the purpose of the Hurst review is to get you prepared for the NCLEX. Now, as I stated in an earlier video, some of you may be wondering, why did I take the course if I am in 3rd semester and I still have 1 semester left? Here's why. They offered us a package, basically that you could take it twice for the price of 1. So that made all the sense to me to sign up for it, and I'm so happy that I did. That being said, the content, I cannot show you the content because I don't want Aunt Merlene, the person that's over the Hurst, the founder. I'm sorry for these, but the founder that's over Hurst, I don't want her coming trying to find me and sue me, so I'm not going to show you the content, but I will tell you whether I feel like it's worth it or not. The cost that I paid, the regular price is $399. The price that we were offered a $50 discount, so we paid $349. The good thing about this is you can make payments, so you don't have to pay it all up front. You can pay $50 down, and then from there you can make payments toward completion. Before the course starts, so I took the live session, before the course starts you have to have at least half of it paid down, and then you have 1 month after the course is over to pay the remaining balance. As I said, we get to take it twice. So I took it this is my end of my 3rd semester. I took it this month, and then once the end of 4th semester, at the end of 4th semester, I'll take it again in December. And the reason I took it was because, number one, I wanted to see what it really had to offer. My best friend took it, and she said that it had some really good information regarding school. I'm sorry for the glare on my glasses. I can't fix that. It has some really good information for school, and I totally agree. In 3rd semester, you learn a lot about critical care. So you learn about shock, you learn about increased cranial pressure, you learn about nephrotic syndrome, glomerulonephritis, renal failure, acute renal failure. You learn about diabetes, DKA, HHS. You learn about, there's a lot. All the different types of shock. I said that before, but there's several different types of shock, so I need you to understand that. Fluid and electrolytes. It's heavy. It is. You learn about acid-base balances. And so these are really critical things that you will use as a nurse, whether you are in ICU, whether you are on med-surg, wherever you are. You need to know this information like the back of your hand. And this is what you learn in 3rd semester. And based on how well you conceptualize information, you may or may not have gotten it in class. Some people need a little bit longer time for things to just kind of sit in and for them to get like the big picture or for the little parts. And so for me, this was a great review course. So a part of the class, you get the booklet. So whether you take it online or whether you take it in the live course, meaning with a person, you will get a booklet. And in the booklet, there's guided sheets for you to fill out over various subjects, okay? And so each day, they break it up into days. So you go, like day 1, you'll do maybe 4 or 5 sections. Day 2 is the longest day. You'll do several sections, mostly cardiac and endocrine, which is critical. And then the last day, you'll do a few sections, and then they'll talk to you about test taking strategies. So that's another thing that you really, really, really need to know. And so they also have a section in the back here called specialty. courses where they're just either continuations or there's certain subjects like maternal, newborn, psych, etc. They do go over some psych in this class, but there's also some more in-depth subjects that they'll go over. Also cancer. And so those you have to go online, and they also have guided resources in the book for you to write down the information as well, but they don't do it inside the class. And I think that's actually perfectly fine. It fits for the subjects, should I say. So you'll come to class. The person will tell you all about the course, how the course will work. You'll be introduced to Aunt Merlene, who is the founder, I believe, of this company. And then you will go through the booklet, going through information. The great thing about my instructor was she was a nurse, or she is a nurse, and she was really able to offer some very solid information, nursing information that you could use in your field of practice as well as here. Sometimes in class, it's especially once you start taking clinicals, it becomes difficult to decipher between picking answers because you're thinking, well, in the hospital I saw this, or in clinical I saw that, but in the textbook it says this. So she was really good at saying, you need to be mindful. This is what they're expecting, but in the field you may see this. So I really enjoyed that because you got a nurse's perspective as well as some academic solid information for this exam. Because you can know content all day long, but if you don't know the exam, how the exam is written, what they're looking for, stuff like that, if you haven't had any practice with that, you could easily fail. So this, I feel like, was a great resource to kind of tie the two together. And they made it very clear. So like I said, I found it very enjoyable because it was a review of my third semester. Everything I covered third and second semester, I was able to go back over some things, those little critical things you may forget. And so it was really nice to have that reminder. And also, because your instructor teaches so many things, sometimes they can't catch some of, like, all the content. She was also able to like close in many little gaps, put in little bitty pieces of the puzzle to complete that picture and make everything like, oh, now I understand. Like, it's like you learn some things, like they're done this way, but you don't understand why, or certain things happen this way. But even the book doesn't kind of, fill that void. But somehow in this class, I was like, that makes total sense. Like, it's just like those little pieces of the puzzle were completed, and I feel so much better. I did not, thanks to my I had great instructors. Thanks to my wonderful instructors, I did not feel unprepared. I did not feel like, because I wondered about that, like, oh my God, like, am I ready for this? Like, let me see how far I need to study. But I actually felt pretty comfortable. No, that's not to say I knew everything, because I didn't, but I feel like what I knew and what they were teaching matched up pretty well. So I think it's a great resource. If you can afford it, I say go for it. You may be able to find scholarships that will help pay for it. I can tell you about those. But I would say it's a great resource to try out. Now, I have not taken my NCLEX yet. I won't take it until after December 2018, which is when I graduate. And I can tell you how it matches up to the exam. But in regards to school, it lines up very well. So that's my take on that. I would say the con about it, the price is kind of high. It's pretty high, which I've found to be true about a lot of the resources out there. So it's not like it's an overpriced program, because a lot of these programs are between $300 and $400. I don't know why, but that's not my choice. I will also say this. So when you complete the course, the 3 days, they give you 2 weeks of 2 weeks of being able to go online to re-listen to those lectures. So every lecture that you covered in the class, you have a 2-week recap, would you say, of videos or audio that you can listen to or you can watch that'll help go back over this information. So everything that you learned in class, you will hear a repeat. You do have the option to either activate it that same day or a year from later. Not a year, but a few months from later. So that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. I think 2 weeks is a very short span of time, simply because life happens and things happen, and it's going to be very difficult to get that done in 2 weeks. I think maybe if they expanded it to 30 days, like a month, that may be a little bit better. People may actually get 2 weeks use out of that month, but to put it for only 2 weeks, I think that was a little on the short end. The other thing is you do get access to those specialty courses that I was telling you about for the 9-month duration. You also get questions, I think over 1,000 questions that you can answer, and you get four opportunities to take a simulated exam. It says Q review 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you get 4 options, and those links are available for 9 months as well. So you get quite a bit. You do get quite a bit. Something new they offer is a program called Elevate. So if you like additional study time, or if you want some more interpersonal modules that'll help you with content that maybe you didn't grasp quite a bit in nursing school, they have 15 seminars that you can listen to. They are organized in 6 modules that you'll be able to do. And so that's also an additional help. And I think you have to pay an extra $99, I believe, for that option. So that is my take on Hurst. That was my experience. My take on it is this. If you have done pretty solid in your nursing studies, you probably could bypass this course. And I only say that because the content lined up so well with our information that I didn't really feel like there was a lot that I took away from it that I did not get from my instructors. There were some things that I do feel like that person was able to tie in or fill in a gap, but I don't think like that information by itself, like standing alone, it was not enough to say I needed that course. No. I think Hurst is a good review for content for nursing school. When it comes to the NCLEX, I don't know, because as I said, I have not taken the NCLEX yet, but we will see. Content, fabulous. It's solid content. So I would say that if you have not gotten what you need from your instructor, then you definitely need to take the Hurst review. That's my take. You may not like it, but it's the truth. It's my truth. Okay, bye.